here's a really gentle but easy stretch that you can do at the end of the day if you're somebody with tight low back and hips, which is most of us, right? So lie on your back with your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor, and we're going to take our arms out a little wide and bring your shoulder blades back onto your back. And with your knees bent, on your exhale, go ahead and drop your knees off to the left, keeping your shoulders on the floor. Inhale back to center. Exhale, let your knees drop to the right. And inhale back to center. Just moving with your breath from side to side. And you may notice that I have blankets underneath each side of my mat. And that is to keep my knees from dropping too far. My hips feel really tight today. But you can put a block there if you need a little more height. You can also just have nothing there and go all the way to the floor if that's a comfortable stretch for you. You feel as we go back and forth, the stretch through the low back, the stretch through the outer hip through here. And then I even get a bit of a stretch through my hip flexors as my knees come across and down. And try not to let your feet creep away from you on the mat. That does tend to happen as we roll back and forth. Keep your feet nice and grounded through this exercise. And back to center. Now, to get a little deeper stretch through that low back and outer hip, we're going to bring our left leg over our right, and we're going to let the legs drop out to the left. So right leg falls, left leg applies a little pressure on top, and keep that right shoulder down. And if your foot needs to slide a bit, that's fine. And breathe into that twist. Now, after about 3 or 4 breaths here, we're going to do an isometric contraction, which means the muscles will contract, but we aren't going to move with that contraction. So when you're ready, go ahead, and the action you want is like you're bringing this hip, this right hip, back down to the floor. So not just the knee coming up, but the hip coming down, twisting from your back. Inhale, go ahead and twist, bringing that hip down and applying pressure from your left leg to keep the right knee where it is. Exhale and relax. And you may notice that when you relax, that knee might move a little closer to the floor. And breathe into the stretch. And when you're ready, we'll do one more isometric contraction. So go ahead and twist that hip back down towards the floor. Right shoulder grounded, right foot grounded, and relax. And see if you can get a little more length through that low back and outer hip. And also make sure that you're not feeling any pressure in either of your knees. If you are, then come back up to the center. Now to come out, we're going to move our left leg first and use it to kind of push our hips back to center. Kind of rock back and forth, finding your center again. And second side. So right leg over the left knee, And both knees fall out to the right. Left shoulder stays grounded. If you do want to intensify it just a touch, you can also look over that left shoulder. Breathing into the twist. Making sure your legs are in a comfortable position for your knees. When you're ready, go ahead and twist that left hip towards the floor. Right leg applying pressure to keep the left knee stable. And relax. See if you get a little more twist in there. When you're ready, one more time. Twisting from the low back, trying to bring that left hip down. Right leg keeps the left knee in place. And relax. See if you're a little further into that twist at all. Breathe into your low back. Right foot comes back down to the floor outside of the left knee and tilts the hips back to center. And relax. Find your center, including your upper spine, centering your shoulder blades. Final piece here, bring your knees up into your chest on your exhale. Let your legs move away from you. Bring them right back into your chest. As comfortable for you here. And relax. Now from here, it's up to you. You can let your knees fall in towards each other. Hang out here for a bit in constructive rest pose. I do recommend this if you're feeling that tension in your low back. Essentially laying in this position for an extended period really helps your femurs to sink back into your hips, your insides to just relax and resettle into their proper place again after all of the movement throughout the week. And lets your shoulders open up your chest. And sometimes I get a little distracted, so that's option one, is constructive rest pose. You can also extend your legs straight out, a little wider than your hips, let your feet fall out to the side. Rest in Shavasana, palms face up. And see if you can let your body just melt into the floor. Whatever it is you decide to do here while you're still on the floor, just make sure that you do it with intention and with that focus of relaxing and opening your hips and low back. You're already here. Might as well take advantage of this time and this space. There's nowhere else that you have to be. You and your mat. When you are ready, you can roll to one side. You're back just a moment to adjust here. And press yourself up from the side. And carry on.